Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Starflames. So, if you're new or returning, remember to subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell, and join the party. Yes, from time to time, it's crazy over here. There are times when it's mild and it's calm, but there are times when it's really crazy over here. I had the flu and I'm still recovering, so it has been mild and calm for this week, okay? Next week, when the voice comes back, it's gonna be crazy, right? But I've been following a lot of, people that have moved to Jamaica recently on threads mostly, because it seems as though people tend to have more discussions on threads, like when they really want to have a heart-to-heart discussion with a community. It seems as though thread is a place to be, or Twitter, right? Or I'll see the videos on TikTok. Now, a lot of foreigners are moving to Jamaica because one thing is that a lot of, especially African Americans, many people are looking at what is happening. Many people are listening to prophecies, and we know and we can see that a war is coming. And America is at the center of a lot of debate and discussions at this point. And also it is projected that a lot of Americans are going to lose their jobs in the coming year and in the coming months. So many people, they're basically positioning themselves for the change. We have been told that the world is going to change, and things as we know it now, it's going to change, right? So, a lot of Jamaicans, they themselves are preparing, like a lot of people have been farming, and a lot of people are transitioning from the regular 9 to 5, and they're going into the digital space, right? And many people, you're just trying to find their passion. Now, this video is for anyone from anywhere across the world. Any of you guys who are thinking about moving to Jamaica, because every country is going to have their problem, and Jamaica was told to brace for a massive earthquake, right? Every couple of years, Jamaica has a massive earthquake that is followed with a tsunami, and the people on the coast normally get hit with the tsunami, right? And I'm not saying this to scare anyone, because initially when I was hearing these things, I was very scared myself until I started doing my research and I see the history, and I said to myself, you know what? Whether I'm scared or not, what is to come is going to come. And the only thing I can control in whatever is coming is me, right? And I've been praying and asking God, to protect me, to protect my family, to give me wisdom to deal with whatever is coming. So I decided that I wanted to take it upon myself to provide some knowledge for those who might be moving to Jamaica, because many people have moved here, and because it's what many people call a third world country, but Jamaica is actually a developing nation, right? We have been developing irrespective of the fact that we've been hit with a massive hurricane, one of the worst hurricanes that the world has ever seen. Jamaica is still developing. Now, when you move to Jamaica, there's something that you need to know that many people don't know, right? Food in Jamaica is very expensive, and it is something that I see a lot of people who are moving to Jamaica complaining about, and a lot of tourists they're complaining about. Food is super expensive in Jamaica, and you have to brace yourself for that. You have to be prepared to deal with that. But the upside to that is that the quality of the food here, it is outstanding. The quality of the food that you get here, it is top class. Like, you're not gonna get food quality better anywhere else. Like, the food quality control here, it is superb. And the government even though it is so good, the government, they're now clamping down on the juice industry because they're saying that normally we don't have so many people in our country with diabetes and so many illnesses. So what the government is doing to help to mitigate, like the amount of sugar that is put in juices, they're charging these manufacturing companies heavy taxes. So anything that's not healthy for the body, it is heavily taxed, and it will be heavily taxed this year, going forward to next year and onward, right? So if you're moving to Jamaica, and if you're planning to move to Jamaica, I'm going to tell you this. Life here is better for you to survive in the countryside. If you're going to buy a house, and if you're going to buy, and I would tell anyone this, right? And I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but living in the city has taught me a lot of things, because if I had certain things in preparation, I would go back to the countryside in a heartbeat, okay? In the countryside, there are no jobs, right? But if you're in the countryside and you can somehow set up like a backup internet service that can guarantee you internet, and if you can set up like a solar system, it costs money to do, but it's a good investment for you to do. If you can set up like a solar system for you to generate your own electricity, so that when the power grid is down, you have that as a backup. And if you can have a backup damn good internet system, I would say aim for the countryside, because life in the country, it is more sustainable, it is more humane, right? And unless you are this person who really loves the city life, if you really love the city life, then the city will speak to you. But if you want, like a true Jamaican experience, and you want somewhere where you can farm, where the soil is rich, and if you want to be at a place where if a hurricane hits and if a earthquake hits, there's some guarantee of water source and food source, the country area is where you need to be. Because there are rivers in the city, yes, but in the country, like going to the river, it's like the norm. Even though people have pipes in their home, it's like a tradition to go to the rivers on Saturday, on a Sunday, and they have river parties and they have cookouts. So the people in the countryside, they know how to pull water from the river, and during the time of a disaster, they know how to sanitize the water and to use it. And in the countryside, there's so many people farming that you will never be out of food. You can forage the land, and you can survive off the land. In the city, you have to survive off the restaurants, the supermarkets, and the fast food places, right? So if you're going to be in the city, always try to stock up on food. You can't do like what you would do in America, because in Jamaica, what many people do is they will buy grocery to last them for like 2 weeks or a month. It's like a tradition. It is customary. It's a practice. It is how we were cultured. But I realize that a lot of people from foreign countries, when they move here, they buy groceries to last them for a few days or maybe a week. For us Jamaicans, once we're able to afford it, we buy groceries to last us for a month, because we know that we have been trained coming up. This is what we've been taught to do, right? And it really works out, because sometimes you hear that, okay, it's raining heavily. Do you want to be on the road when it's raining heavily? Absolutely not. It may not be a time of disaster, but when it rains heavily, during the weather season, do you want to be out there rushing to get food for your family, shopping in the markets and all of that? Absolutely not. But this is just my little advice to you. And I had promised to do these videos from last year, and I'm going to remember to at least drop at least maybe 2 or 3 of these videos monthly. I had to stop the camera for a bit because of my throat. So I was saying that, depending on who you are, right? Depending on who you are, the city might be most suited for you. And if you're going to be in the city, just stock up on your groceries, get your water tanks, store your water as best as you can. But one of the main things to know is that food is very expensive in Jamaica. Very expensive. Very expensive. Like, food costs more than rent. Trust and believe that food costs more than rent. And another thing that's expensive in Jamaica is utilities. Utility is very high here. Now, as it relates to housing, many of the houses in the city, many of them are built with high quality standards, but not all of them. Not all of them, right? But in the countryside, the people in the countryside, they take great pride in building their houses to maximum standards. They don't take shortcuts, they don't play with the workmen, and they build their houses from scratch, and they ensure that the steel work is done properly. Once you're laying the blocks, they use the right size steel, and the block pockets are filled properly. So you find that the people in the countryside, their houses can withstand certain weather conditions better than the ones in the city. And I believe that if you guys have been looking on social media, you would see people who have bought houses in the city complaining about a lot of things. Those things, they don't happen in the countryside. So those are just some things to consider if you're moving to Jamaica. And what I would say, is to move into an Airbnb or an hotel first, get a sense of, what you like, what you don't like. If you have no familiarity with the island, if you are not a descendant, if you have no relatives here, if you've never been here before, get an Airbnb or an hotel, ask questions, make notes, have a plan. Have a plan before you move here, and just know that food is going to be expensive, but the food here is amazing quality, and the food here, it is really good. It is exceptional, from poultry to dairy to you name it, the canning industry. It doesn't matter. The food here, it is top notch, top quality. The alcohol here too is just the same, top notch, top quality. Now, with a medical facility, there's a little bit of drawback because it all depends on what parish you're in. But there are a lot of hospitals in Jamaica, despite what many people believe. And there are free healthcare services for those who are citizens in some areas. Some hospitals are 100% free. You get your medication, you get your doctor visit free. There are some tests that you may need to pay for that the hospital may not facilitate. They may not have the equipment or the machinery to do it, and you have to do it from a third party, and as such you have to pay out of pocket at that point. So if you become a citizen, and when you become a citizen, you'll have access to free health care, but there are hospitals wherein there is a copay system, like you don't pay the full fee, you pay a percentage and the government covers the other half. And there are some private hospitals as well for those who can afford the private facilities and a private treatment. So those are just some things for you to consider when you're moving here. And I would say research enough, read enough, have a plan, watch as many videos as you can. There's so many people moving here, and so many people living off grid, so many people quitting their jobs and farming, and they're making videos and showing people that they are so happy with their decision. I saw one video after Hurricane Melissa of a lady having a meltdown because she's saying she doesn't have any electricity for days and she has to go back to the States. And she got back to the States, but when she got back to the States, she was like, you know what? She feels bad that she rushed and left Jamaica because there was no electricity, no this, no that. And she was saying that maybe she should have moved into Kingston and get an Airbnb there because she really wants to come back to Jamaica and she has to learn to deal with the hurricane season. So that's the only negative thing that I've seen so far from someone who has moved here. And I've seen another video about another lady who bought a house, and it's in the city that she bought the house, and she called in the media outlet because the house was already falling apart. But that's not always the experience because there are houses in the city that are well built. Not all housing developments play shorthand. Some of them are very serious about their investment and what they provide to customers. So you have to do your own research on that, okay? But that's just my little information for those who may need it. If you're moving here, some of the things you may need to consider before you do so. And that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Peace.